Hello, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea. We're continuing our budget Merfolk series, looking at the tap and untap effects Merfolk have. Okay, once again, I've gone over this a few times, so I'm going to do it super fast. Right now I am covering what I'm calling exemplars. They're like creatures that have the highest affinity with one color. Black for rat, red goblin, green elf, blue merfolk, white leonin. We haven't done leonin yet. We've done rat and goblin so far. Merfolk, their main color is blue. There's a secondary color is definitely green, which we covered in the last video. And this, I think, is getting into white. There's kind of a little bit of white. And this is on the tap and untap effects they have. So their main strategies are counters, card draw, bounce, tap, untap. And we've done the other three, so now we're on tap, untap. Our budget is $2 or less is what I mean by budget, and I'm using the TCG market value. They are not a sponsor. No. Honorable mentions: Merfolk Sky Scout. I can't say Scout for some reason. Whenever Merfolk Sky Scout attacks or blocks, untap target permanent. So this is nice because you could potentially get many untap effects, and it's untap target permanent, not creature. So yeah, that is, if you've got a mana rock, you can untap it and just like get extra mana out of it. So that's nice. Benthic Explorers, untap target, tap land and opponent controls to add 1 mana of any type that mana could produce. So you untap something your opponents control, giving them more mana, but I think it's not hard to avoid this like kind of biting you. And yeah. I guess I wouldn't do this to an island is the main thing. You don't want to give them access to blue mana, but there's plenty of other mana that probably wouldn't be an issue. And Forensic Researcher, untap target permanent you control. Again, permanent, very good. Collect Evidence 3, tap target creature you don't control. So you can just tap them, collect Evidence 3, no mana cost, and then tap down someone else's, creature, only creature for that. And then to collect Evidence 3, exile cards from your graveyard with total mana value 3. So not that hard to do. It's kind of nice to have something that lets you take it, kind of get a second value out of like things in your graveyard. Overtaker, first up. Okay. It is 3 in a blue and tap to discard a card from your hand. Untap target creature, you gain control of it until end of turn. That creature gains haste. Okay, so you just, anything you want, you just take it for 1 turn. The discard is maybe a little harsh. If you do need a discard outlet, it is kind of nice, but you need something in Madness or something to take advantage of that. Anyway, 71 cents for that one. Very, very good. Even if he's untapped during someone else's turn, if they want to attack you, you can just steal one of their creatures and use their own creature to block. I think if you do that like once in a game, you're not going to get attacked again while Overtaker's untapped. It's kind of like a better version of Ghostly Prison, I think. Anyway, 71 cents, yeah. Cura's Follower. You can tap him to untap another target permanent. Again, any permanent. This is especially useful on someone else's turn if you want to have access to mana. You tap him and then untap a land, untap a mana rock, untap whatever you want, and suddenly you've got like that mana you can use to cast that counter spell. Really, you end up in this same kind of situation where people are going to be like, oh, they have 1 untapped island and Cura's Followers untapped. I should just like leave them alone. So it is kind of like, I think, a very sneaky kind of benefit to it. That is not on the card, it's more in play. But anyway, 16 cents. Tidebringer, or I keep saying Tidebringer. Tidebinder. Tidebinder Mage. When it enters the battlefield, tap target red or green creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap stat for as long as you control Tidebinder Mage. Again, so you can frankly, blink this and yeah, tap down a whole bunch of stuff. Red or green might sound very limiting. It's not. First of all, red and green are very common colors, and it doesn't have to be mono red or mono green. Any creature that does have green as color identity or red as color identity, you can tap that. If it has a green or red pip, you can tap it down. And it stays tapped for as long as this is on the battlefield. That's a really great ability. Anyway, 28 cents. Again, yeah. One thing about that, I should back up. I would say is against commanders, right? In commander, this is lethal. This is like just a lock down someone's commander kind of card. It does so much work. Okay, Merfolk Trickster. It has Flash, which is very important on this one. When Merfolk Trickster enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls, it loses all abilities until end of turn. So again, you can do this during someone else's turn is the main thing. If they've got like some kind of problematic creature, even their commander has some kind of ability that's a big issue, you play this. Again, it's only 2 blue. And yeah, they tap down and lose all abilities. So yeah, anything they've got that's causing you problems, you just turn it off basically. And you can turn it off for their whole turn. That can be a game swinger right there. Anyway, 88 cents. Charade of Numbing Depths. Alright, so when it comes to the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. It does specify creature, unfortunately. Whenever you tap one or more untapped creatures your opponent control, draw a card once per turn only. This is that kind of lets you get more value, right? Out of like tapping down opponents is very good already. It makes it much easier to attack, and it makes it easier for everyone to attack. I think that's the main difference. Like making your things unblockable is good. Tapping down your opponent's board is much better because they don't have blockers then, right? You're kind of making a diversion where you're like, hey, it's much easier to attack this other opponent than it is to attack me. It kind of keeps you safe as well. But yeah. And doing that and drawing a card every turn, an extra card, one card, I think a lot of people go, that's not so great. One card every turn. How many turns do you play like more than 2 cards? Some decks will, a lot of decks will not, right? I think that can replace your hand at least a lot of the time. Anyway, 4 cents. Oh, please hit like and subscribe. It really does help a lot. Especially the subscribers. I've been getting more lately, and it makes a big difference. You need, I believe, 1,000. I'm over 200 now, so that's a good start, but a long way to go. Yeah. Overtaker is 71 cents. Cure's Follower is 16 cents. Tidebringer Mage is 28 cents. Merfolk Trickster is 88 cents, and Charade of the Numbing Depths is 4 whole cents. Okay, take it easy.